kuzvikwadza tega. If you ever notice, when I go expensive weddings for the sake of people.
Yes.
And say, a wedding is not an investment. Mchato, it's not an investment. The legal effect of mchato, chatro barotonro, newa chatro church, newa chatro one of these expensive gardens is the same. It's monogamous. Can read chapter 5.11. But akuna muna nondirwadza weekend so muna ari kuroja anoraise 30,000, 50,000, 60,000 yokusign one day for a wedding. Apedza kuchata akutopinda pamukuroja.
Bad choices.
Bad choices. The next thing, you hire very expensive artists to come and perform. The next thing, you do everything. You publicize it. Simply because you want people to realize you're living your dream. Shaman, when I done that was one thing. I don't have an obligation to post anything on social media. They know it.
True.
That was what Nana.
Yeah.
So none of my business. But look at us. So, hey man, you laugh. Hey, anyway. Stop doing things for people. And once you realize you stop doing things for people, guess what? Even if you run into problems, you've never noticed the number of times we're busy writing, no, we've come to this difficult decision statements when we divorce, because we usually put our lives out there.
Solid and it's long.
Thanks so much, Vicky, and you're kind.
How are you?
Phenomenal. How are you doing?
I love it. Phenomenal.
Yes.
You're not just okay or fine.
Nope. You know what? You create your own atmosphere, and that you are responsible for the atmosphere that you create. So, not just an okay one, phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
It's in your hands.
True.
How was Valentine's?
You really pay. I have to follow up your presents.
Really?
And I can't go on the yeah, so
Advocate.
I want to start more things about Roma socks man. Hey guys, it's not fair guys.
I'm not monotora my presents.
All right, just talk about that. There's a law that governs those things, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. So it's actually the law of ownership. So if you buy something, deliver something, ownership passes on. So I can properly file for a vindicatory action for the property to be returned back.
Nice.
So one day we'll do that too. I talk on that one of these days.
Okay. Nasi asitukutora kuti usafire kunyara.
True. True. And I think many of us are actually suffering from that.
Yeah.
Kunyara, and guess what? We're actually missing out. So why do we need to have this conversation, Rick? I think we've talked quite a number of times about these things. A number of us were missing out the plot because we are just doing things for people. And I think that's where we're failing it. And I want to start by point, Vikendi. You actually have got the answers that will change your life. Not worry about. If I want to see better results, I need to start doing certain things. Which is why we need to encourage people to do something called self-correction. Learn to do self-correction, Vikendi. You sit down with yourself, and I want you to learn to have honest conversations with yourself about particularly what's happening in your life. And once you begin to have an understanding of that, it will bring change to your life. Number one, I want you to do an audit of your life right now. Life you're very happy. Where is your life right now? And a number of people run life because we're doing it for people. We have set standards for ourselves, which we know we cannot even sustain, simply because we're under so much pressure from people to do certain things. And guess what? Now we can't even think about changing it because Kunyara. Imagine munaende savana kuzvikoro kurodiwa $5,000 a term, iyari kutambira $500. And when he sits down out was about BP nogara akashuta nenyaya yeschool fees. But for him to actually change, could I come into the reality zone?
To downgrade.
Vanhu vanozoti kudi, vanhu vachati ndadi ndapera, ndabroka, ndamunhu. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So right now, a number of us were staying in suburbs. This is sustainable. Why? Because mabururu edo akatuza kuti shama iwe chef kubasa kayo kwa driver kusiko, that's the wrong direction. No garoko. And the next thing, you put yourself in a trap. You put yourself in a situation where you can't even be normal. And right now, Vikendi, what I'm talking about, because a number of people are actually in trouble because of this. Could you take a pick a life at this level? But for us to actually say, let me adjust at Kunyara, because Kunyara. Imagine a number of times a number of people right now were in useless relationships because Kunyara. Because takaudza vanhu tikaposta mastatus tikanyora on Facebook till death do us apart wotoona kuti munhu wako haana ana sign yekufa uyu wotoona kuti panapa ndiri pama1 but at the same time uri kunyara vanhu. So what happens? You end up being a shell. You end up missing it because you are now just doing things for the sake of people. That's why I want us to do a 360 check into your life.
Inventory
Of your life. And if you can't do an inventory into your life, you can't change your life. Remember the book No One Is Coming. You need to be honest with yourself. Zvandoita zasikubuda. Kana usati wasvika level yokuti unozvibvunza wozviudza wega kuti zvandoita asikubuda, weekend you won't change your life. No miracle is going to change your life. The greatest miracle is sometimes learning to sit down with yourself and having rough, honest, blunt conversation with yourself. Toshinyazoudzana kuti I need to change certain things about my life. So I was speaking somewhere on Saturday and someone says, Ndara, wakanditira hasha, but I ended up living in Bayanaigara, Yokoroja, and Ganarogara, pa 10 pound wake cabin yangu, when I'm on the few days. Now I'm a proud woman. By understanding kuti ukanyara vanhu unofira mukati, and guess what? No special kunze, you'll be buried. So we need people to get to this level where we do this inventory. Ask yourself, where are you now? And where are you now is very important because you need to change your life from a position of where you are right now. We need to actually understand where are you standing right now. Then, are you actually happy with where you are? You see, a number of people, we are not even happy with where we are. But we can't accept the responsibility to take the right decisions. Do you know, Vikendi, you actually know what you need to do right now.
Yes.
Kuti ukwandoendesa school fees ukabwa ndakati dinners mwana anozora achinjwa chop chop because akuna munhu anokwanisa kuchiendesa mwana kuchikoro iko. Unotoziva wega kuti right now address yandiri kugara, this is the very wrong address, but ukunyara vanhu.
And it's short-term choices that are costing, the long-term.
True.
So it's important to make long-term choices. I've had to do the same with my life and inventory. What am I doing for people? What am I doing for myself?
True.
And I've had to let go of what I'm doing for people. And, saying long-term, how am I saving for my son?
True.
Which choices am I making that are going to be beneficial for myself?
So true.
Yeah.
That's why it's very important sometimes to learn to be selfish. We should do a talk on positive selfishness. Because I don't care. By the way, we're trying to impress people who are busy with their own lives.
Imagine.
They don't even care. and Viken, if you understand how people are quick and ready to move on when you die, you stop doing this for people. We'll bury you, we'll play whatever, we'll do honor, we'll do chichi, the next thing we're moving on. At somebody Gary, who move on. To party, to gala, chichi, and it's we bury you. We move on. Chakusara is the reality of the consequences of your choices.
Imagine.
So, nobody talk to you guys. Stop living for people. And one of the things that I want you to do, after asking yourself, where are you now? Where do you want to go? What we're talking about, perspective, is very important. You need to have a full sense of perspective. Where are you going with your life right now? And I want you to actually ask this question. What are you doing that is holding you down? A number of us were self-sabotaging ourselves. We're sabotaging ourselves. We want to appear as if we've arrived, yet you have not arrived. You want to appear as if things are happening, yet nothing is happening. You want to appear as if we're one of the big guys, yet you're just a guy. Nobody will quarrel on one day, weekend. Because you see, one of the things about life is never a competition. It's about you waking up every day, looking yourself into the mirror and say, what did I do yesterday? Was that the best I could do yesterday? The answer is no. Then what am I going to do today that can make me a better person? Once you learn to compete with the person that you're seeing in the mirror, you change your life. Stop trying to live for people.
I think social media, and there's nothing, no new car they're releasing.
You're right.
That pressure, it's real. So
Strike Masiwa, one of the richest persons in Zim, he says, I don't follow celebrities.
Billionaire.
A billionaire. The way data I don't follow celebrities, and that time you follow the basis. I'm busy working on myself, busy working it. A number of us were so obsessed and it was useless. Look at the amount of time we follow my fights, my so-called celebrities and so forth. find your life and begin to realize that what you focus on grows, what you neglect dies.
So we have a message here from a listener, Mkakapa Highlands, and I have a tenant paying $500 rent, and today he hasn't paid January and February rental. So his status, he's celebrating Valentine. That would be real.
Can I tell you one thing? Rent 2 months. Weekend flex are kuya kuroza shama lifestyle yako yasikuita dashboard rakachuka chawa ngangeti do something, but guess what, we're busy fighting dashboard ne prayer devil liar iwe asi devil akatsvagira imba sebaba usingagona kugara. I once did a case weekend. Yes, someone was renting a property for 2.4 a month. He was owing close to 20,000 in rentals. Uyu munhu akakwana anopenga anodi ndopatutsara iyi nyaya yekuramira vanhu unokuvara weekend, unokuvara kukwara chaiko unosara usina chunhu. Ndopati kuti wamanaka ngative real. Handisi kuti urarama life iri low, but I'm simply saying be realistic. So tozomonyepirwa, you can took all you want, vanokanotora zimwe zambasa. Ukaona message yako ichikutsamwisa, it means you need to change your life.
Yes.
Rules are common sense.
Pick your Glen, as you rightfully said.
Simple. Choose a Glen and run mari yako ukaramba Glen Forest umakuva tokuviga. And someone will make money through your funeral, by the way.
Oh no.
Then many people were making decisions for people, and this is where we're missing it. Do you know a number of people right now because that's just what it's due to 6-pack. Anyway, 6-pack you know then I want you to learn to start thinking of you. Again, when it comes to life, think of you.
Yeah.
So when you're deciding a partner to marry, for example, think of you first. So the more about the other person. Hey, I feel I don't hey, that's even a wrong reason. Think of you. Is this making sense? So can I'm saying? Then you only have one life to live. Be authentic. Be authentic. Once you're authentic, guess what? The bulk of my stresses that we experience, they are man-made. Stress is man-made. Because common sense is not about weekend. You're not under 500. Can I go and buy 400? I see faith kupusa ego. Because utozotora kuping me marry. You know what I'm saying? So the majority of the things we're saying, the devil, way. That's why I wrote in this book, till no one is coming. Could stop blaming the devil. In a very, very educated country like ours in Zimbabwe, now are very superstitious. Weekend, one need the capacity to wake up every day and just blame the devil.
Because there are things within our control.
True.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's something that's within your control. These are things within your control. Budget. Simple. Simple formula with the income. What is the income? It becomes normal. But a number of us were busy trying to fight common sense. That's why life is not making sense. So, Chinese Kawanda. This statement on So, I want you to notice this. This is the reason why many people are actually going back in our lives. We're not making any significant progress in life because we're always following people's opinions. So, we are broke, but I don't
and like when I got order for a while,
sure.
And it doesn't change. And talking of Kunyara vanu and powerful, the kanzi and brother on a piece of church nasinda aguchema. So what you're saying is not even far-fetched. This is the reality for most people, and it's said.
It's real.
Yeah.
And by the way, we live in a very wicked society where people are not you know what I'm saying? So Vano will always talk, whether you are going to move up or going to move down, people always talk. And I want you to understand that this is the nature of people. And by the way, you should actually be worried if people are not going to be talking. That's why for me, one of the things that doesn't really stress me is what are people saying. No, I don't. So you go through my videos on social media, people say, hey, Shawan, Inini. You can shout all you want, but I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm a lawyer. For me, for you to see me, I charge you. That's how different I am. You get what I'm saying? That way, what it guys, in the interest of guys, there is a nika. Gati teje ziraredu, gati teje no kwanisa. Paya pa chirungu bakambo story chirungu nshi tana pa unoshikira. That's a very powerful, profound statement. Iyoyo. Done upon Oshigira. A number of people were in debt. What's the nature and character of debt? You'll be shocked. Lifestyle debt. Munano borrow a motor that thing a Mercedes at Roger. Just because no, I'm a chartered accountant, so I need to be driving a contemporary vehicle so that when I meet my executive friends, they can actually see that my things are moving e-way. I'm not going there. You know, why is it so don't really mind what people are going to say. A number of people right now, they're actually spending a lot of money on things that they don't need because Kunyara. A number of people, they're stuck in dead relationships because you know, I'm not a fan of my divorces. Of course, I handle quite a number of them. But sometimes my relationship are toxic. We've accepted that this thing has failed, our roommates and everything else. But we and the next thing we lose who we are simply because we want to please people. A number of people, we took this my hairstyles at 40. That's why when I saw Brazilian educated on Guana. But so that we can just appear as if things are happening. Yet it's not it is simple hairstyle. You know, peace of mind than hairstyle approach phone runs how far. And my wife and I hairstyle I don't know much. Somebody how far. True.
And they will assume everything is going on well, yet you need help.
True. And this is the point.
Yeah.
When I come on the shadow stands of Batira, what does a battery get store? Trukuzinye bear. What store on the Chungichi? We can do Unoro Yerwa Mahara. Nevaroi. What you go to the Mari? What's not a chun? What the bits of it? Look at the huh?
I would. People are facing this in this dilemma, Arthur. It's not even a joke.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I've had the privilege of meeting ordinary people doing extraordinary things. These are people who wake up to the reality. That I've got a race to run. I've got to be honest with myself. I don't have to prove a point to people. So look at what can I go now go tenga wonder fit. Which move from point A to point B. Buy it, it will fulfill the purpose. Can we save enough? Wake enough?
Manager.
That's the problem. That's the problem. You see, the one with Benz, you want to have an accident. You want a third party cover. That was a third party. The part of guys is not but can also capacity we replace a mangwana. You have no business owning it. If you can buy twice anything that you have no business having it. So right now, in the iPhone 14, iPhone 13, it can be what to that prayer. Yes, Saturday, yes, Saturday. It's not be one man. That's why I told you to insurance. The part with the guys, we need to be honest. Tori Gravity, Kuzquads Tega. If you ever notice, on account expensive weddings for the sake of people.
Yes.
And but say, a wedding is not an investment. Mchato, it's not an investment. The legal effect of Mchato, Chatro Baroton Newa Chatro, Church, Newa Chatro, one of these expensive gardens, is the same. It's monogamous. Can read chapter 5.11. But akuna munanondirwadza weekend so munarku roja anoraise 30,000, 50,000, 60,000 you sign one day for a wedding. Apedza kuchata autopinda pamukuroja.
Bad choices.
Bad choices. The next thing, I have very expensive artists to come and perform. The next thing, you do everything. You publicize it. Simply because you want people to realize you're living your dream. Shaman, when I done that was one thing. I don't have an obligation to post anything on social media. They know it.
True.
That was what Nana.
Yeah.
So none of my business. But look at us. So, hey man, you laugh. Stop doing things for people. And once you realize you stop doing things for people, guess what? Even if you run into problems, you've never noticed the number of times where B's writing, no, we've come to this difficult statements when we divorce, because we usually put our lives out there. And now, the very same people are looking at how far. And the next thing, we're now under obligation to say, we need to explain, we need to do this. Come on, live for yourself. Live for yourself. And once you learn to live for yourself, so doing what we talked about this, do an inventory of your life. And once you do an inventory of your life, you'll be shocked at how that is going to change your life.
Yeah, true.
No go to go for that. Guys, be honest, be real. That is your matim. Ariot. That is your murio. Ariot. You such go with it menu. Everything is remaining the same.
Because they're in a facade. This make-believe smoke. And it's not even the real thing.
True.
Yeah.
Life is all about adjustments. Adjust and readjust. life yako inochinja. Position, reposition. That movement inodiwa yoyo. You can either adjust upwards or adjust downwards. So when I wonder, income made I squad adjust upwards. You know what adjust upwards is our expenditure. Those are two water. My price are clear. I'm not sure who quits volume TV. Never trouse. I begin to tell that people.
Wapinda munda bivano na jinji cheyo wakatiri nokuti this is the reality of most people's lives because of the positions they hold in the society.
You're right.
This expectation, they have to create a facade, and they munatori ne BP